Good evening, everybody, or should I say, good late afternoon. I'm back on Dartmoor. I could pretend to be somewhere exotic. Inflate. I could pretend to be somewhere exotic or somewhere different. But you all know that would be a lie. So I got here at about 4:15, and just as I was coming into camp, the last 15-20 minutes, it decided to, I wouldn't say rain hard, but rain hard enough that my trousers got soaked. And I must admit, sillily, I didn't put my waterproof trousers on. I couldn't really be bothered, to be honest. But so my trousers are soaked, and it was raining, you know, lassie, and it was raining so hard out that I just came straight inside. And also it was raining a lot with the super mid door open, but rain was flapping in, so reluctantly I've done the door up, although by the sounds of it it's actually stopped raining at the moment. Given the forecast, I'll probably leave it shut. That's the rain coming back. Of course, the trouble with letting your trousers get wet, everything in your trousers gets wet, including your handkerchiefs. Lassie, come on, over there. So I'll put those there. So anyway, for a change, I've brought my old X-Ped down mat. I've not used this for a while. I tend to keep most of the things that I accumulate over time. A lot of people sort of sell things on, and I'm a bit of a, I don't know if it's a squirrel burrow. I don't know if I'm more like a squirrel burrowing his nuts, or a hamster filling his cheeks up with things. But I never really like getting rid of things, and I come back round to using things, you know, again and again. So I thought I'd bring the X-Ped out just to, you know, I haven't used it for a while, so I just wanted to remind me. I do prefer in winter, to be honest. Lassie, that's just licking my coat. I do, to be honest, prefer my Thermarest X-Therm in the winter, but the last couple of times I've brought the Thermarest self-inflating thing. I have some of this stuff so long, I forget what some of it's called. So anyway, with the down mat, you don't really want to get moisture inside it. I don't worry too much about the other ones. So because of that, I bring this, Lassie, I bring this pillow that also doubles as a pump. So I'm now going to have a pump while Lassie continues licking my coat. I'm not going to say she was licking my bottom a minute ago. We better keep this PG. So you carry on talking amongst yourselves while I do a hair flick and a Helga of pump thrust. If anyone remembers that scene in Hello Hello. I haven't seen Hello Hello in years and years and years and years, but it's probably no surprise that I remember that scene. Right, okay. Well, I had the ISO on automatic, and unsurprisingly it was not quite light enough, so I put it on manual. So that rain has just dampened the mat here, so I've got a cloth just dry the bed off a bit. Okay, now we'll see what it's like tonight. I've not pumped the bed up, you know, an absolute ton, so we'll see whether that makes a big difference. And the other thing, because it's winter, I always bring my honeycomb base to go under the bed, just out of habit. And then if I do have a failure of mat, then I'm covered. And of course I've just sat on my bed with slightly damp trousers, which is silly, but they're not soaking wet, and it's not the sleeping bag, so I'm just going to put some air in here. So that's my pillow there then, so that doubles as a pump for this bed. Alright, so I think it's time to get into bed. As I say, it's that time. Luckily, whilst it's wet, it's not freezing cold, which is nice. I'm basically carrying on the tradition of just getting out once a month when I can, whatever the weather. So I just sort of say, right, at such and such a day, as in this instance, I'm going out Monday the 21st, 22nd, that's it. Come rain or shine, whatever the weather's doing. Obviously if a hurricane was passing through, I might change plans a bit, but basically whatever's happening with the weather I'm just ignoring, because I can't really work with the weather. So whatever the weather's doing, that's it. I'm pretty much going out. It would be nice to maybe have a slightly colder camp, and we've still got February. Maybe it'll be cold in February. I'm not quite sure what's happened to our cold weather. And this is about as, well, to be honest, even when I wasn't married, I wasn't getting much further than Dartmoor, but this is as far as I can pretty much get at the moment. So, and I'm pretty much getting here late afternoon as well, so I'm only doing short walks as well. That's partly my foot and partly time. So the important thing is just to get out and have fun. So I think what I'm going to do is, before I get the sleeping bag out with my trousers all wet and everything, I'm going to check out my... So I brought a warm balaclava this time, and to be honest I don't think it's a merino balaclava, and it's probably going to be too warm actually. Beanie, hat, cap, spare t-shirt just in case things got wet. But the main thing that I want at this moment are my leggings and socks. And I'm going to take this wet coat off. everything underneath is dry. And the other thing I like to do as well, I like a good substantial pillow, so whilst my coat's wet, it's not soaking wet. So I'm going to put my coat at the head end under the mat. And I like doing that, and then it just raises the head end up a little bit. I've got my water over there and I've not had a chance to I'll try and do this so she doesn't move. I'm not sure what you can see. She's put her leg over my leg as if to say, you're not moving your leg. I've got her bed here, so I'll unroll that soon. As I say, I've put one foam mat under my bed. It probably isn't needed, but I just a habit I've got, and I always bring it, and for the extra tiny bit of weight and security, I just think it's worth bringing. And then I've got my little piece of foam here, which I like to put sort of next to me, and then I can put my elbow on it or my feet on it or whatever needs to go on it. I can put on it. And it just gives my feet or arms or anything like that a little protection from the cold or wet, depending on whether it's on my mat or on my, whatchamacallit. We might have to edit. Mind you, the camera is pointed up, so in all honesty, I don't think you can see my leg. So that's one leg off the trousers, that's the other leg off. One thing which I nearly always in the past brought with me a piece of cord. I nearly always brought cord, and sillily I didn't bring it this time, and I didn't bring it last time either with this shelter. I must get back in the habit of carrying that, because I could have brought that and strung it across the loops in here, and then I could have hung my trousers on them. Excuse me 1 minute. Slurping is lassie drinking. Putting my leggings on. Okay, the next thing to do is I'm going to get the sleeping bag out of the mat, because everything I'm wearing now is dry. So that racket that you can hear is very strong wind, not the bait weeds, and very strong rain. It's been raining for about an hour, maybe 2 hours actually. It's been raining for an hour or two. But everything is going well in here. If you see steam coming past, I'll put the lid on my pot. I'm just going to make a cup of tea. So I got into the supermarket at about 5 o'clock. It's about 10:30 now. I got very, very tired at about 8:30, and I think I fell asleep, cat nap between 8:30 and about 10 o'clock. And then sort of a combination of the wind and and rain, and it's still only been 10 o'clock. I kind of woke up a bit, so I just thought I'd film a little bit like this. I've got the, actually, I'm not sure how that would have been with the light straight into the camera. Anyway, so I thought I'd just film like this as the camera was already on the tripod. It certainly seems very different camping when it's very, very wet and windy. But it's, you know, we're very, very safe and secure here as everything blows away. But the pole is holding up. I did have to just tighten it up at one point because it slipped a tiny bit. But it's the pole is good and solid. I'm going to make a cup of tea. And weather out the storm for a bit. Still tired. I've got a t-shirt on. Oh, I've got my crap on. I've got a t-shirt on, or a zip t-shirt on, a fleece on, and my wind shirt. Plus inside a very warm sleeping bag, and I'm thinking the temperature is probably about 4 or 5 degrees, and I'm just about cozy. So definitely quite a cold sleeper. With wind and rain like this, my little speaker, I can't hear it, it's not powerful enough. I can't make it loud enough. So I brought some headphones with me, so that's why I've got headphones in, so I can listen to a film. Okay, I'm going to make a cup of tea and just kind of hope that this segment's filmed okay. It's very different. One, trying to talk when you've got earphones in, I probably should have taken them out. And also, there's so much noise, it kind of sort of deafens everything as well. Well, good morning, and good morning from from Lassie. I'm half asleep again this morning, so we woke up to, I think the rain stopped at about, I don't know, midnight, something like that. I think I finally fell asleep or settled down at 1 o'clock or something around about that time. And then I think it warmed up a fraction, and then it cooled off. And you can actually hear it raining at the moment, but sometime during the night it obviously something froze, because that's a little bit of ice
just out there. And I think the forecast was for, you know, 0 or -1 or 2, and a little bit of chilly weather. So it's about 10 o'clock. I'm going to have a cup of tea in a minute. I've not had a tea or anything yet, being so snuggled down. So I'm going to have a cup of tea and some breakfast, and then we'll see where we go time wise. I think the forecast actually said sort of very heavy rain about 12 o'clock, but it's going to be impossible to miss. If that happens, it's going to be impossible to miss it, because it's 10 o'clock now and I've not had any tea, breakfast or anything. So if we hit it, we hit it. But I have to say the shelter stayed up good and solid last night. The pole didn't budge an inch during the night either, so that's very very encouraging. It stayed up so long. Okay, well, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and as he's wandering around thinking we're still here. So I've just put my porridge on. So I'm going to have a porridge. I've had tea. I've put my wind shirt back on again. I've packed Lass's bed away. I know all the do-gooders out there going to say, you've put Lass's bed away before your bed. She spends most of the time outside in the snow anyway. So I thought, well, while she's not actually on her bed, yeah, while you're not on your bed, then I'm going to pack your bed away. So I'm just going to have my porridge and then we'll start packing up. I've started putting a few things. So in here I've put sort of my spare t-shirt, which I didn't need last night. The liner to the sleeping bag, which I didn't need. My balaclava, which I didn't need. In fact, bringing this rab fleece with the hood actually was a brilliant. I've done it before, but I've never actually used the fleece in bed, but it was really good because I put the hood up and that kept my head nicely warm, and I didn't need my beanie, which reminds me, I'm not sure where I've put that. Anyway, so I didn't need the beanie, so that was handy. So I've started putting a few things away then, basically sort of clothes that I'll need during the day, you know, sort of underwear, trousers, my hat, socks, gloves. There's no upper body clothing because I've got it all on. Yeah, everything's still, it's a little bit damp, which is but then that's just to be expected, I think, isn't it, really? I might put my waterproof trousers on, and that might just give a little bit of warmth, and it's still 50-50 threatening rain. It's a few drops coming down now again, so I might put my waterproof trousers on, and that will give some protection to my you know, to my legs and those trousers that are a bit damp as well. I brought extra towels for not so much for me, but for Lassie if necessary, so I put all that away. Just repair kit and first aid kit in there. Obviously they just stay untouched pretty much. Actually, there's another towel there. And then I've got spare gloves, spare hats in there. Obviously with this weather and in the winter you don't want to be skimping on hats and gloves, so I've put spare hats and gloves in for safety. And my down jacket, because I'm not wearing that now and I won't need it now, I've packed that away. So really, once I've had my porridge, once I've had my porridge, I can start putting other things away, like the cooker, although I probably will have one more tea. I brought my old power pack. It nearly didn't charge up my phone last night, but thankfully it did. And of course I stupidly left this camera out all night, and when I checked it this morning there was 0% on the battery, so I've put some charge in from that. I really should remember to put batteries in the sleeping bag or something, to be honest. So luckily you can see more of my ugly mug thanks to carrying a power pack. Okay, I'm gonna check out my breakfast. I don't know where. It must be 1/2 millionth of a degree warmer outside, because earlier on there was a lot of like icy, sleety stuff on the ground, and I have to say most of it, or some of it, is gone, so it must be a balmy 1/2 degree above freezing. You can hear the pitter-patter of rain on the Cuban shelter. Okay, food time. Well, if I do manage to say a few words later on, then obviously I'll say goodbye to you next time. Well, not next time, but you know, later on. At the moment, this weather looks rather set, so if it stays hissing it down like this, then I probably won't be getting the camera out again, or anything else for that matter. So I'm going to thank you all from this inside an MLD production, because the camera's not set foot outside this shelter in the whole video so far. So we could have filmed this at Elstree Studios, or with me is it more Hammer Horror videos things, Hammer Horror Studios. So I've made my last tea, so once I've had my tea I'm going to start packing up and try and pack up as much as I can inside. Pretty much everything should be able to do inside, I hope. And so that's one big beauty of this shelter. There's so much room in here. Okay, well, I'm going to wish you all good afternoon, good evening and good night. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you hopefully sometime in February. And again, thanks for watching. And see you February. And again, hit the subscribe button if you aren't, and if you dare. And catch you all again in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.